What happens when Earth is destroyed? Humanity leaves the planet, and the last man assigned to protect it starts remembering a life he was never supposed to have. Let's find out in the 2013 movie, Oblivion. Jack keeps having the same dream. He sees Earth before the war, the way it only exists in old photos now. In the dream, he sees a woman he's never met. She smiles at him, and he feels strongly connected to her. Jack wakes up in the year 2077. It's been 5 years since a mandatory memory wipe, but the dreams haven't stopped. He and Victoria are stationed on Earth for a mission that will end in 2 weeks. After that, they're supposed to leave and join the rest of humanity. Long ago, an alien species known as the Scavengers destroyed Earth's moon while trying to take over the planet. Without the moon, Earth fell into chaos. Earthquakes and tsunamis destroyed most of the planet. When the invasion began, the remaining humans used nuclear weapons and won the war, but Earth was left mostly unlivable. The survivors left and built a massive space station called the Tet, which was meant to be temporary. From there, humanity planned to move to Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Almost everyone has already relocated. Jack and Victoria stayed behind to protect giant hydro rigs that convert seawater into energy. Mission Control considers Jack and Victoria an effective team. Victoria handles communications, while Jack repairs and maintains the drones. Victoria is excited about going to Titan. Jack, however, still feels like Earth is home. Jack heads out for his daily patrol in his aircraft. He checks in with Victoria, lifts off, and confirms visuals on the hydro rigs. Suddenly, Victoria tells him that 2 drones have gone down. Mission Control comes online, and Victoria reports the situation to Sally, who oversees operations from the Tet. Jack's aircraft locks onto one of the drone beacons, and he follows it through a storm. Lightning strikes his vessel, and he briefly loses control, nearly crashing. Meanwhile, Victoria asks Mission Control for replacement parts for the damaged drones. Instead, she's given new instructions: fix drone 166 and locate drone 172. Jack regains control just in time and reaches the location of the first drone. While repairing the drone, Jack uses chewing gum to make a quick fix when the proper tools aren't enough. As the drone powers back on, Victoria notices movement on her monitors. Jack turns around and sees a dog. He scares it away so it doesn't get hurt when the drone activates. The drone recognizes Jack's ID, scans the area, and flies off. Jack decides to search for the second drone on the ground and takes his motorcycle. He rides through a dry, empty landscape where water once existed. He picks up a faint signal and finds a sinkhole where he believes the drone may have fallen. He tells Victoria he's going down to check. She warns him that the Tet will be offline soon, meaning he'll be on his own. Jack lowers himself into the sinkhole using a rope tied to his bike. He hears the drone but can't see it. Communication with Mission Control cuts out. As he moves closer, he realizes the drone is gone. Only the beacon remains. Scavengers suddenly capture him, but Jack manages to escape by cutting the rope. He fires at them as they close in. They remove the beam he's using as a bridge, forcing him to jump across the gap. As he tries to climb out, his rope is shot, and he falls back down. Just when things seem hopeless, a drone arrives and scans the area. It eliminates the scavengers and rescues Jack. The drone hesitates when scanning Jack's ID, but eventually clears him. Jack notices a book on the ground and takes it with him. When he gets back to the surface, he realizes the scavengers stole his bike. Jack eventually makes it home. While showering, he has another memory, this time of New York City. Later, while working on a drone, he looks through the book he found. Victoria interrupts to prepare dinner. Jack gives her flowers he's been collecting, but she throws them away, saying they might be toxic. During dinner, Jack tells her the scavengers didn't seem like they wanted to kill him. They wanted to capture him. Later, Victoria goes for a swim outside. Jack joins her, and they talk about going somewhere together before they leave Earth. They kiss in the pool, and Jack again sees a vision of the mysterious woman. Jack wakes up to a massive explosion in the distance. One of the hydro rigs has been destroyed. Jack believes the scavengers have weaponized a drone. He tracks a rogue signal being transmitted off-planet and follows it to the remains of the Empire State Building. Inside, he finds strange objects and a beacon using the building as an antenna. Victoria decrypts the data, revealing coordinates in the middle of nowhere. Jack shuts the beacon down and continues his patrol, going dangerously close to the radiation zone. Suddenly, an object crashes to Earth. Victoria tells Jack it landed near the beacon coordinates. Sally orders Jack to stand down, saying drones have already been sent. Jack ignores the order and investigates anyway. At the crash site, Jack finds human hibernation pods, survivors from before the war. In the final pod, he finds the woman from his dreams. Drones arrive and begin destroying the pods. Jack orders them to stop, but drone 166 prepares to kill the last pod. Jack defends it and shoots the drone, disabling it. Jack brings the pod back home. Victoria helps open it. The woman wakes up, coughing and disoriented. and calls Jack by name. Later, she introduces herself as Julia. She's confused and shocked to learn she's been asleep for 60 years. Jack, Victoria, and Julia eat together. Julia asks questions about the beacon and her mission. She says she needs the flight recorder from her ship. Victoria explains how much Earth has changed and that humanity has moved on. Julia notices Jack and Victoria holding hands and laughs. Victoria is clearly uncomfortable with Julia. Later, she talks to Jack and says she wants Julia gone. Jack asks if Victoria remembers anything from before their mission, or if she remembers Julia at all. Victoria gets upset and reminds him that a scavenger beacon brought Julia down, which means the scavengers now know where they live. Later, Jack talks to Julia while she's awake. He tells her that Victoria plans to report her presence to the Tet and that someone will be sent to pick her up. Julia says she needs to recover the flight recorder from her ship first. She explains that both of them need to know what really happened. Jack agrees to help her. When they reach the crash site, Victoria watches them through the aircraft's cameras. Julia sees the destroyed pods, and Jack tells her he couldn't save the others. While Julia searches for the recorder, Victoria spots movement on her monitors and tries to warn them, but it's too late. Julia finds the recording just as scavengers attack. They knock Jack down, send the aircraft away, and knock him unconscious. Jack and Julia are taken captive. Jack wakes up restrained under a bright light. He hears someone reciting lines from the book he found earlier. A man named Beach steps out of the darkness, lighting a cigar. He says he's been watching Jack and noticed how curious he is. Beach asks Jack if he's ever really met a scavenger, gone into the radiation zones, or questioned his orders. Then the lights come on, revealing a large group of humans hiding inside the building. Jack is confused, but Beach explains that they are all human survivors. They hide because the drones are programmed to kill humans on sight. Beach asks Jack why he protected Julia from a drone. Jack says it's just the right thing to do. Another man, Sykes, warns that a drone will track Jack's signal. Beach takes Jack to an underground facility and explains that they brought Julia's ship down to harvest its reactor. Combined with scavenged drone fuel cells, it can be turned into a nuclear weapon. They have a drone capable of carrying it, but only Jack can program it. The drone is already tracking his DNA, so time is running out. Beach wants Jack to send the nuke into the center of the Tet and end the war once and for all. Jack refuses. Sykes shoots him, then threatens Julia to force his cooperation. An alarm goes off. A drone is approaching. It scans the facility and kills several people. Sykes manages to destroy it, but not before more lives are lost. Beach tells Jack that they're letting him go. Before leaving, he says the truth can be found inside the radiation zones. Jack and Julia head to the ruins of the Empire State Building. Jack messages Victoria to let her know he's alive, and she informs Mission Control and calls off the drones. While waiting for the aircraft, Jack asks Julia who she really is. Julia explains that she was on a research mission to Titan. 6 weeks before launch, they detected an alien object and were reassigned to investigate it. That object was the Tet. She tells Jack they're married and that he isn't who he thinks he is. He proposed to her at that very spot. Jack starts remembering pieces of it, though he's still confused. When the aircraft arrives, Victoria sees them embracing. Back at the home, Victoria refuses to let them inside. Jack tells her they need to leave and explains that Julia is his wife. Victoria reports Julia to the Tet, despite Jack's protests. Suddenly, a drone inside the house activates and kills Victoria. It turns on Jack next, but Julia destroys it first. Jack finally communicates directly with the Tet, which tells him it wants to bring both him and Julia in for a new mission. They escape as drones chase them across the landscape. Jack flies into a storm, using lightning to damage the drones. He hides behind a waterfall, then ambushes and destroys most of them. One drone remains and forces them into the radiation zone, destroying their ship. They eject and crash. Jack hears a drone nearby and investigates. Another identical aircraft lands, and a man steps out, another version of Jack. They fight, and Jack manages to disable him. Drone 166 powers up, but Jack removes its fuel cell. Julia is wounded in the chaos, and Jack carries her to safety. Jack takes the other aircraft back to his home, treats Julia, and eventually brings her to the lake house. When she wakes up, healed, she plays his favorite record. Jack admits he knows he's a clone, but that he's loved her for as long as he can remember. Julia tells him memories are what truly make a person who they are. The next morning, Jack decides to help Beach. He and Julia return to the hidden base. As Jack programs the drone, Beach explains everything. The Tet destroyed the moon, caused Earth's collapse, and sent cloned soldiers to wipe out humanity. Beach says Jack stood out because he questioned things and saved Julia. The drone is prepared, but Tet sends 3 drones to stop them. A violent fight breaks out. Many humans are killed. Beach destroys one drone, but is badly injured. Julia comes up with a new plan. Since the Tet asked Jack to bring her in, He can smuggle the nuke inside a hibernation pod. They say goodbye. Jack places Julia in the pod, tells her to dream of them, and launches toward the Tet. During the flight, Jack watches the flight recorder and remembers everything. He was the mission commander. Sally was real NASA mission control. Victoria was his co-pilot. Julia and the others were asleep. Jack reaches the Tet and is granted entry. Inside, he sees countless clones of himself and Victoria. He opens the pod, beaches inside. Together, they detonate the bomb, destroying the Tet and all its drones. 3 years later, Julia lives peacefully at the lake with her daughter. One day, surviving humans arrive, including another Jack. Jack has finally come home.